Virtual reality.
Larsa Pippen, Danny and I are so excited to chat with you, and we're so excited it's because you are a surprise contestant on House of Villains Season 2. We were not expecting that at all. What made you want to join?
You know, I'm always up for a challenge. I started loving doing these like challenge shows, you guys. It's so different from doing Housewives that I'm starting to love them.
Ooh. I know. I feel like you get to see like different sides of you in these shows, which is so fun. And I'm sure for you, you get to learn different things about yourself. Where you're like, okay, I know how to go back and forth in like a conversation or maybe like a dinner party that's chaotic, but like a dance floor showdown, a little different.
I mean, the dance floor thing you got, you know what? I think I should start doing that at my house when I have people over because you really get to see who you have alliances with and who exactly, you may think you're close with, but you're really not.
It was really nice to see right off the bat, you and Teresa, you're so close. Honestly, it was so funny to see after that beach meme went viral. It's so fun that you guys are now starring on the same show together. How did it feel to see Teresa when you entered the house and entered this experience?
I was so excited, you guys. I love her so much. We literally lived together. Imagine being able to live in the same house with a really good friend of yours. We just had so much fun. It was just, it was so much fun. We cooked together. We would go to sleep together. She'd make me coffee every day. Like, I just really enjoyed spending time with her.
And I'm sure Victoria enjoyed spending time with you since you stopped answering her texts. You couldn't avoid her in the same house.
I mean, it's really hard to avoid someone when you're on the House of Villains because there's no doors.
Yeah.
There's no doors in the bedroom. So imagine, I'm so used to privacy. Like, I'm used to having my own space. Even when I had young kids, I always had like my own wing to the house. Being in the House of Villains, we literally don't even have doors in the house, you guys. It's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. But do you know what I do love, Larsa, is that you were able to experience this type of competition show on your own without a significant other by your side. How did it feel to do a show like this without having your boyfriend in the mix?
Honestly, it was way better. I had a great experience. And I loved having other guys in the house because I feel like I really got along well with the guys. Safari and I became really good friends after that. You know, we both live in the same city, but we had never even ran into each other. And then we ended up living in the same house, which was pretty cool.
Ooh. And when you say you got along with Safari,
Well, I got along with all the guys. I like all the guys.
okay, because you are gorgeous. He is so handsome. I got very excited for the Miami fire for a second.
Oh yeah, no, we're just friends. But it was just really fun getting to know him and the rest of the guys.
What was it like getting to know New York? Because in this first episode that you come onto the show, it's a little unclear to see where the two of you might go. It seems like New York is a little wary of you and the bond and the closeness that you have with Teresa, and it almost feels like she feels like you two are going to team up against her. And we see later on in the season, she and Teresa butt heads. Is it because you get involved somehow? Is that the reason why Teresa and New York are beefing?
I don't know. I feel like I love New York. This was my first time ever meeting her. I'm a huge fan. I think New York she's very tough. You know, I think you either have to abide by her rules or you're gonna have problems. And living in the same house with her, like I respected her. I was super nice to her. I didn't want the smoke with her. Um, and so at least, I mean, Teresa and her did butt heads a little bit. And I tried to help in that situation because I do, obviously Teresa's one of my closest friends and I do have a lot of respect for New York. But I think when you have a lot of strong personalities under one roof, they're definitely going to butt heads. Like I was trying literally to be the least, villain person in the house. I started off thinking like, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to all get along. It's going to be so kumbaya. But
Candy had different plans when you walked in, which I was not expecting the first person to like the fuse to be that short between you and Candy. But I'm glad you guys kind of were able to brush it off. Was that like when Candy went to apologize, were you all good from then, or were you still kind of like, what's going on here?
No, I think, I ended up being really good friends with Candy after the first night. The first night I was like, what did I get myself involved in? Like, why am I even here? And these people are so rude. They won't even help me get a room where I'm not sleeping with two random men, you guys. Like, I'm not used to sleeping with, I don't really have one night stands. So I'm not used to sleeping with one man, let alone two. So it was kind of challenging for me. I was like, just find me a room with a couple of girls or a girl.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and well, speaking of Larsa not doing one night stands, what is the dating vibe today? Like, what's going on? I feel like everyone is so invested in your love story and you dating and not like what's happening right now?
Honestly, you guys, I've been trying to lay low. I think like from my last relationship, it was so public that I think in this chapter of my life, I want to keep certain things to myself and not
Mhm.
be so overly open because it just didn't work well for me, my last situation. So I
That's
think I want to know people, go on dates, and then once I figure out, you know, the vibe with the person, then maybe be more open to sharing.
I like that. And also, it's funny, this year, New York has been voted the worst place to date ever, the worst city. Is Miami a close second, or is Miami a lot more fun? Should single people be going down to Miami? Like, how is the vibe down there, at least overall? No?
No, I don't think Miami. I used to think LA was the worst place to meet guys, and now I think it's Miami for sure.
What's wrong with Miami boys at the moment?
I don't know. I just think there's a lot of eye candy here, so I feel like it's hard to date here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
we are.
hard to meet people. I feel like every time, like I literally met someone randomly out, and then my friends started giving him a nickname, and they called him Tinder Swindler. They're like, he's a full con. I'm like, so that's why I can't meet random people because I feel like I will take you for face value, and then once my friends start to research you, they're like, he has no identity online, Larsa, like at all. So I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna kill us all.
Yeah. Larsa,
First,
do you feel like dating is tougher being famous and being in the limelight? How does that play a role into some of the challenges you face in your romantic pursuits? Because I feel like that can't be easy.
you guys, I feel like I've always dated someone that was in my world, in my circle, and that's kind of my comfort zone. And it's probably not such a good idea. I need to veer out. But every time I veer out, I meet these guys that are not what you think they are. I think it's like hard to trust people. And for me, it's hard for me to bring people into my world and my kids. And it's just not as easy as I thought. I thought when I got divorced, I really thought it would be, not so hard to meet a person that I could be with. And I'm starting to realize, you guys, it is not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
With House of Villains, you weren't necessarily ready to claim the villain title. I mean, how do you feel about being perceived as a villain? Because I did love how they had the little montage of all of the amazing moments from the Real Housewives of Miami. Because
You have some good ones.
you have a villainous tongue sometimes, which we live for.
I do. Okay, so the thing is this. I don't start off wanting to be a villain, but I do have a sharp tongue, and if you come for me, I have no problem slicing you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, and even you said that training, essentially trained for this on the Real Housewives of Miami because you're used to backstabbing, lying ass bitches, as you so eloquently said. Who do you feel like helped you train the most from your cast?
Oh gosh, I am not even going there. We just started our season. I am not even starting on that. I don't even know. A couple of them, by the way.
A couple, a baker's dozen. Yes, you have had a lot of a boot camp with that. Because of course you're not that familiar with everybody who you were in the house with. Who, from your first impression to now, do you feel like surprised you the most in the sense you're like, oh, they're a nice person. You're like, oh, you are a villain, and that's why you're in this house. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like who I got along well, I think like my first impression of Candy was not who Candy really is. We ended up being really good friends. But I also think like Victoria, like I thought she was like sweet. I forgot that I like forgot how I even knew her. And so spending time with her made me realize, oh, okay, I do know you now. So, I think when you live with someone, you get to learn a lot about them really quickly. And being on the House of Villains, literally like in 2 days, I felt like they were like my family. And I'm like, oh, I hate you. You're like this person. Oh, I love you because you remind me of my sister. So it's kind of that vibe.
And then, real quickly, before we let you go, if you happen to be the winner of this $200,000, what would be your dream way of spending it? Like, where would you put that money?
Um, well, I just bought a house, so maybe I would redo the closet or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. I'm already manifesting that you win, and when you redo the closet, can you invite us? Because I feel like a Larsa Pippen closet tour is my dream.
Totally.
No, it's so good. It's going to be so good, you guys.
All right, well, we're excited to see the rest of your journey on House of Villains season 2, Larsa. Thank you so much for taking the time. We love
Thank
catching
you
up with
guys. It was so nice seeing you guys.
Yes, you too. All right, bye.
Bye.